What's up, everyone? How are we all? It's just Simon back here again for the third sort of week of Premier League games review. So a lot to sort of catch up, some interesting scorelines, and some sharks, not so sharks as always. And yeah, so let's get into it, shall we? So, get into the early kickoff on Saturday. That was Manchester City v Arsenal. Big game, obviously, two big clubs. Half 12 kickoff. But obviously, has things the way things are going at the moment for Arsenal, wasn't a good day at all. So the scoreline was Manchester City 5, Arsenal nil. I didn't see the game, so I can't sort of really say too much on it. But from what I've been told, what I've sort of seen of highlights of the game, wow, what can you say? It's absolutely shocking, isn't it? Absolutely shocking. So Arsenal in such a mess. Where do they go from here? Where do they go? I think, far as I know, the next, I think 2 games. I think that's including a cup game. I think it's like Burnley and Norwich. I think I might be completely wrong. I'm not too sure, and I know they got Tottenham coming up as well. After all of the international breaks, and obviously because it's international break now, so there's a break for a week. So yeah, so what happens really? What happens with Arsenal? I do not know. I think it's for me. I think Arteta has to go if he doesn't pick up something. If he doesn't pick up points against Norwich, and I think it's better. I think it's Burnley in the cup. Somebody might, sort of, answer sort of what I'm saying, sort of thing. But yeah, time to go. I think for Arteta. But Man City looking impressive as always, and just looking stronger and stronger. And what can you say? Like I said, from what I've been told, they could score 10. That's how bad Arsenal were. They're in, probably what I'm going to say is probably a bit sort of bit naughty, but are Arsenal the biggest club in London now? Question for you all to answer. Question for you all to answer. I'm not an Arsenal fan, obviously, and like I say, but I like Arsenal and obviously what they did, and over the 20-25 years I watched them. The days of Ian Wright, Bergkamp, Thierry Henry. You can get, the list goes on. Obviously the Invincible season, that lot. So yeah, so looks like it's going to be another long season for Arsenal. Anyway, but to be fair to them, they've had Chelsea and Manchester City, who are the two contenders for the title. So to be fair to them, it was also going to be tough against them. But anyway, let's get into the next game. So there was 5 lots of 3 o'clock kickoffs. So going into the first one, that was Aston Villa v Brentford. Brentford still impressing me quite a lot from what I saw. Watched highlights of the game. Obviously, Ivan Toney scoring his first goal in the Premier League. Looking very impressive, Brentford are. I must admit, I never thought. I mean, I know it's only 3 games in. There's 38 games in total, but so far they're looking pretty good, and long may that continue. Play some good football, and yeah, yeah. So and then obviously Villa being Villa, just sort of just plodding along, sort of thing. They'll have a good win. The Villa seems to be one of these teams that love a loss, win, draw, loss, win, draw. That's how I sort of see it for them. But yeah, so it's sort of quite an eventful game, I suppose, if you want to call it that. So, but yeah, excuse me, I got a bloody wind. So there we go. So that is that game. So the second 3 o'clock game was on Saturday was Brighton v Everton. Everton looking impressive still. Could this be the season? Could this be the season of the top 6 for them? No disrespect to the, Carlo Ancelotti. I mean, he's, great manager, but obviously his head was elsewhere when Real Madrid came, and he was, no disrespect, Everton, Real Madrid. You know who you're going to go to, so no disrespect to Everton, like I said. So, but looking impressive as always, Everton. Could they actually do it? And obviously halted Brighton, sort of really good start, obviously, to the season. But yeah, so overall, sort of a good performance, and Everton looking at big things, I think. So there we go. So in the very eventful game between Newcastle and Southampton, it finished 2-2. So that was a very, very good game. From watching the highlights, with Newcastle probably absolutely, obviously they're going to be absolutely gutted, 2-1 ahead. I think they conceded like in their 94th or something minute or something like that. I don't know. With a penalty, James Ward-Prowse, who for me, no disrespect to Southampton, I think he's a better player than Southampton. I do apologise for any Southampton fans out there, but I just think he's a better player than Southampton. I think he's a top 8, top 6 club. I'd have him at Leicester, but the thing is, we're sort of got quite a few midfielders, so centre midfielders anyway. But we'll get to them later. So yeah, so he finished 2-2, and obviously, like I say, Newcastle must be absolutely gutted. Like I said, 2-1 up, going literally with whistle bound to be blown, literally, and then they can see the penalty, and Southampton score from it. So going into the next game at Carrow Road, that was Norwich City v my beloved Leicester City. Quite a mad game, but from what I've heard from the reviews, Leicester still not looking good, even though they won 2-1. At the end of the day, I suppose you can look at it one way, you think, well, they didn't play well, but they sort of won, so that's sort of a good sign. But they sort of still not playing well enough if you look at the other side, and what's happened to Patson Daka? Why has he not been played as much as before? I mean, I know it's only 3 games in, but what's going on there? Not too sure at the moment, but like I say, must be something going on. But anyway, so Leicester City 2 winners. Vardy obviously scoring, and nice to see Vardy still banging in the goals. And it's just never ending. Was he 34, 35 now? I think he is. I mean, the bloke just seems to keep going and keep going and keep going. What can you do? So, obviously controversial moments, obviously, in the game. I mean, for the penalty Norwich got, for me, wasn't a penalty. And obviously, the only thing I didn't see, because there was a goal disallowed, obviously, for Norwich. I didn't see that, so I can't really sort of comment on that because I didn't see it. But anyway, so Leicester City 2-1 winners. So going into the 5th and final game of Saturday, that was it was it was 6 games Saturday, but there was a 5:30 kickoff as well. Do apologise. So the last 3 o'clock kickoff was West Ham United v Crystal Palace, and surprising really, because I had that down. I think I had that down as like 3-1 win for West Ham, and it ended up being a draw 2-2. Palace coming back from behind twice. So I can't remember the lads. Gallagher, I think it was, scored 2 goals for Palace. I was a bit shocked on that one. I thought West Ham win that quite comfortably, obviously, with what they got. Not looking like what they did against Leicester. I mean, no disrespect to Leicester, they were poor that game. But anyway. So fair play to Crystal Palace. And West Ham, obviously, they were probably gutted, dropping points at home. But like I say, it's only 3 games in. It's really early. It's still 35 games to go. A long, long, long way to go. So anyway, so that is that. So going into the 5:30 kickoff at Anfield, that was probably the game of the day. Liverpool v Chelsea. Obviously a very, very high intensity game. Intense game between 2 big clubs. What can you say, really? It's a sort of bit of a mad game. I didn't see the game. Obviously, it's just another game I saw the highlights of. Obviously, there's controversial parts with James being sent off for a handball. Sort of hit his arm and sort of side of his chest, sort of thing. Apparently, though, people said the sending off was a bit harsh. I can't really sort of comment on it, to be fair. It's sort of, it's just one of them things. I mean, you get decisions like that go for you, you get a decision like that against you. I mean, red card, could be yellow card, whatever, but it was a clear goal shot, and obviously, hits your arm, doesn't it? So, doesn't matter really. But, so a very sort of, like I say, 2 big clubs and one of the 2 title contenders. Obviously, good to see Virgil van Dijk back and looking as strong as ever. Keeping Lukaku very quiet from what I heard from a lot of Liverpool fans, but then again, it is what it is. But like I say, I said literally the last 2 seasons, 18. Well, obviously Van Dijk had that horrific injury last year, and yeah, so great game to watch, and it finished 1-1. I think they'll be sort of happy with a point each, I think, and rolling on after the international break. So going into the final 3 games of the sort of Sunday, we had Burnley v Leeds United, finished 1-1. So looking sort of, there's not really much to say on it, to be fair. I mean, Burnley went 1-0 ahead, and Leeds sort of like an equaliser in. I think Patrick Bamford got another goal. Man who's been called up for England, which fully deserved in my eyes. As I think he was a bit unlucky really to not be called up for the Euros, but that's history now. It's done. So yeah, so looking very very good indeed. So, but overall, what can you say? Burnley's Burnley. They can go and beat. No disrespect, they can go and beat, say, like a Liverpool or Man United, and then go and lose to, no disrespect, to a team that like a, say for example, sort of like a Norwich or something like. No disrespect to Norwich, but Norwich are not sort of they're not the best side in the world, but then again they're sort of and I'm not trying to disrespect Norwich at all, but don't know. So yeah, so that basically finished 1-0, and yeah, so sort of Burnley probably slightly disappointed, as I say, because obviously the way Leeds play sort of their open football sort of thing, but at the end of the day, point's a point, and it's not a loss. So for Burnley. And I think, like I said, I think Leeds will be one to watch out for again this year. I think they'll be top 10 this year, quite somewhere. Anyway, but so yeah, so that'll do. So, I ain't got a clue what I'm saying. Oh my god, I'm not making any sense. So anyway, so going into the next game, that was Tottenham Hotspur v Watford, and Spurs keep marching on, don't they? They won again, beating Watford 1-0. Son with another goal. So yeah, top of the league at the moment. And obviously, I mean, I don't like to hate teams and stuff like that, but I'm not a fan of Tottenham, let's put it that way. Obviously, sort of Tottenham are sort of like saying, oh, we're going to win the league now, and it's just, you think, oh god, here we go again. It's like, it's not 2015-16 all over again. So, and obviously, if you know what that year was, obviously that was the year of Leicester City winning the league. So, but anyway, so that was sort of quite mad, and yeah. But overall, at the end of the day, Tottenham sort of keep marching. Obviously, like I say, 1-0 winners against Watford. Watford sort of had a good start to the season, sort of faltering a bit. I mean, they only lost by 1 goal at the end of the day. So they can sort of be proud of what they're doing. I mean, obviously, I got them to go down, sort of this season, sort of thing. But at the end of the day, they've got some talent in there, and also Deeney's still there, obviously, and yeah, who knows what will happen then. But like I say, overall, I think it's obviously Tottenham will please 3 out of 3. Obviously having Man City as well, beat Man City. But anyway, that's the past. So going into the final game of this weekend before the international break was Wolverhampton Wanderers v Man United. Man United very, very, very lucky. Very lucky. I can't stress enough. They were very lucky to get the win. But then again, it's the old classic saying, if you don't put your chances away, you won't get nowhere. So that's the way it goes. So yeah, Wolves had plenty of chances, didn't put them away. Obviously, they'll be gutted the amount of chances they have. David De Gea with 2 unbelievable saves, and it just, every time I turn around and watch the game, it was just constant Wolverhampton on the break. And Adama Traore, obviously, I mean, the guy is just so good, but his end product is absolutely atrocious. I mean, if the bloke can cross, and I mean, he'd be an absolute phenomenal player, strength, pace, he's got everything, but just one thing he has not got is that delivery ball and sort of, final pass, whatever. He's just absolutely awful in that, So, he's just like a sheep. It's just like a deer in headlights when it comes to crossing the ball. It's just terrible. But anyway, that makes no sort of sense. But anyway, but Manchester United on the side for them, positive side for them. Like I say, they got the win, job done, another 1-0 win, and Solskjaer obviously very happy after you see their sort of disappointment last week against Southampton. and going back to winning ways. And obviously, you know, obviously with their big signing with Cristiano Ronaldo now joining Manchester United, and looking forward to seeing him back in the Premier League. And even though he's on a absolute monster wage, from what I've heard. I think I've heard it was about 500 mil. That's 500 mil. God, Jesus Christ, £500,000 a week, which is just, I think he's not the highest paid in the Premiership. I might be wrong. I don't know. The rumours, I don't know. Like I say, we'll find out, won't we? But like I say, been a Ronaldo fan all my life. To be fair, I think when he first came to the scene at Man United, and obviously, you know. Talented player. Look what he's gone and won. You know, he's won multiple Champions Leagues, La Liga trophies. You know, trophies for Man United. Even he won the Euros with Portugal, who obviously ain't got the best side in the world at the time. And look, you know, at the end of the day they won. But like I say, it's nice to see Ronaldo back, and you know, it's nice to sort of see that. You know, as much as I don't like Man United, I've got much respect for Ronaldo. Let's put it that way. So, but anyway, so going back to the game. So yeah, so Man United 1-0 winners. Mason Greenwood continues. The goalkeeper should have done better with the shot, but that's the way it is. So that is it for the whole sort of third week of Premier League games. So overall, so far, so good. Loads of upsets, loads of shocks. I mean, fantastic. So. Oh dear, I don't know, it's hard to sort of pick which you know, probably, I don't know, I can't really I don't know, I'm trying to sort of pick a bit of a shock performance really. I don't know, it's it's hard to sort of say. Probably the shot. I don't know. Probably the shot performance. I would say probably West Ham. I think they expected to win. Obviously, the obvious stand-up performance for me was Manchester City. I just think I know it's easy to go to. You can even put probably Everton in that bracket as well. I think stand-up performances. Obviously with Brighton playing good football. So I'm going to go for probably the shot performance was probably, like I say, I'm going to go the West Ham, because like I say, they expected to win. But so I should say really the poor performance, I'd say. Shouldn't call it a shock. Because anyone would beat anyone on the day. So I think So poor performance. I think West Ham, and I think the best performance was Manchester City. So, like I said, that is it for this video, and I will end it there. So I will be looking forward to seeing you all for round of week 4 Premier League, which will be not next week, which will be sort of the week after, and I'll be looking forward to hear you then. So people, as always, you all take care and stay safe, and I shall see you soon. And like I said, just very quick before I go, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube, greatly appreciate it. Fatboy/Site is the name of the channel. Smash that like button and give me your thoughts and comments on how you think teams are doing so far, and how your own teams are doing, and what your standout performances are so far. So that is it. So as always, like I said again, take care and stay safe everyone, and I'll see you soon for more Premier League updates and reviews, and I shall catch you then. Bye bye everyone.